As if the Denver Broncos' 22-7 loss to the St. Louis Rams on Sunday wasn't painful enough for a team with Super Bowl aspirations, that loss came with a big price. Tight end Julius Thomas, wide receiver Emmanuel Sanders, and running back Monte Ball all suffered injuries in that game and were unable to return. It is unclear right now just how long-term any of those injuries are. Ball's groin injury appears to be the most serious, but it raises some big questions as the Broncos return home for a game against Miami on Sunday. Is this offense good enough to survive a rash of such important injuries? What has made this Broncos offense so effective over the last couple years is the sheer amount of weapons that Peyton Manning has to throw to. So the impact of losing guys, particularly Julius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders, is that Manning loses two of his most trusted weapons and two of the biggest mismatches the Broncos have on offense. Julius Thomas has 10 touchdowns this season, in large part because nobody else in the NFL has really figured out a great way to cover this guy. And Sanders has had a breakout season in his first year in Denver after coming over from the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's been effective in the slot as a deep receiver, getting him the ball in space, and the Broncos don't have anybody else like that on their roster to replace him. So the key players that the Broncos could turn to should Julius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders miss a decent amount of time are Jacob Tamme at tight end. Peyton Manning has played with him for years, going back to their time together in Indianapolis, and he definitely trusts him. But there is a big drop-off in talent between Julius Thomas and what Jacob Tamme can provide. So the Broncos are going to have to get creative, figure out a way to get some mismatches there using Jacob Tamme and the other weapons that they have. At wide receiver, the name to keep an eye on if Emmanuel Sanders has to miss any time is rookie Cody Latimer. He's been the odd man out numbers-wise so far in the Broncos offense this season, and he was a healthy inactive on Sunday. The Broncos certainly could have used him once Thomas and Sanders were both out of the lineup. But if Sanders is out with a concussion for any extended amount of time, Latimer's the guy who'll get a spot on the game day roster and could get significant snaps against the Dolphins. The Broncos better hope that they're able to get this offense healthy and figured out and quickly. They're no longer in first place in the AFC West, and they have to go to Kansas City in 2 weeks to play the Chiefs. And what we learned about the Broncos over the last 3 weeks when they had road games is that this is not yet a team that's built to win on the road. So they better hope that they've got this offense figured out in time to win the AFC West and get themselves at least one home game in January.